ferry boats big enough to carry cars and trucks. But what happened in 1969 is also interesting because part of the deal when they opened the bridge was to discontinue the ferry service. They wanted all the traffic on the bridge because there was a fee to pay. They wanted to pay back the original cost. Actually, the bridge was built using state revenue bonds, not federal money. However, it's a shame that they discontinue the ferry service. My personal opinion would be very nice to have more connection north and south, bicycle path, boat and bike. Maybe some time in the future. But if you like the ferry service, this is the Cabrillo, one of the ferries. I will tell you where you can open board. This is the ferry landing. It's beautiful to be on this side when the sun sets because you have the view of the skyline. The buildings are hit by the light. It's really magical. And you have access to the beaches. These are public beaches, all of them here. And you can rent a kayak, swim. Don't have to go that far.
Yeah.
Now, the average depth of the bay is 40 feet. Since we have the instruments, let's check it right now. 37. 37 feet, they keep dredging out. I mentioned to you that the bay wasn't navigable, but now they keep dredging out if it's needed because we have big car carriers coming in and going all the way to the National City Marine Terminal. In fact, there is a car carrier over there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a car carrier on the right. Giant bathtub looking. Oh, nothing romantic in a car carrier, but those car carriers can transport up to 6,000 cars each time that they come in. And you can track them as you can track a plane if you know the name of the vessel. You know where they come from. South Korea, Japan, Japan, South Korea, Japan. A lot of Asian cars coming in, but not only, no, all kinds of cars. And all the San Diegans are complaining this morning about this weather, humid, horrible, terrible. Come on, spoiled. Beautiful day. Now, it's true that when we have a little bit of humidity, just like today, the visibility can be a little bit compromised. But we can still look at, in the distance, those hills. That's Mexico, right there. That's the city of Tijuana. We see the buildings when it's nice and clear.
Tijuana.
We are probably at 15 miles from the border. And actually, if you have a passport, just like many San Diegans, they spend the weekend south of the border. There is a very elegant wine region just south of the border. Not to mention the Sea of Cortez if you can drive further south. But if you don't have a passport and you like the wine, don't worry. We have Temecula, north of San Diego, 40 minutes drive. Beautiful vineyards in the area. In between Tijuana, San Diego County, here in the area, we have more than 6 million people. This is dense. Now, as the gentleman was mentioning, we also have another base here. The Naval Amphibious Base of Coronado, here on the right, is the home of the SEAL teams and special boat units. And during the Vietnam War, they were training the troops there. And the Swift boat that we have in the museum, the PCF 816, we'll see it when we go back. Those type of boats were there before being deployed to Vietnam. By the way, that's the last Swift boat in the war. But very often we see the SEALs here. I'm talking about the guys, not the animals. The training. We see the helicopter hovering above the water, 60 feet. These guys, they have to dive in the water, swim ashore. There is a boot camp in Coronado along the Silver Strand. Sometimes if you spend time there, you see these guys running with a black inflatable boat coming from the ocean to the bay. Maybe it's the first week of training. They call it the Hell Week. So they're all serious, they keep the pace, they sing the cadence. Superman is a man of steel, and no match with the Navy SEAL. Off they go, yeah. We laugh, but those guys, they don't laugh because at the end of the training, after 1 year and a half, there will be something like 95% of dropout training. Very tough training, not for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, on the left, starting from the bridge, don't worry guys, when we go around you'll see everything, but starting from there, the third bay Diego. He is the biggest. He's the most impressive here. He's actually the second largest in US. The first one is in Norfolk, Virginia. But this is the principal home port of the Pacific Fleet. There are more than 40 vessels here. I'm not a Navy person. I had to do the homework here. Cruisers, destroyers, 2 destroyers, Zumwalt class, very expensive vessels. 5 classes of amphibious vessels. For instance, Wasp class, America's class, San Antonio class. 2 classes of littoral combat ships, Independence and Freedom class. Minesweepers, what a job, sweeping mines. You can see the floating dry dock from here, managed by BAE Systems, British Aerospace Enterprise. Few more of these floating dry docks are managed by NASSCO.
Coronado Bridge.
But I'll go back to the base.
Navy Bay.
In the meantime, we have the bridge. I like this bridge, Coronado Bay Bridge. You can see this 80-degree turn midspan on the right. This is not because of aesthetic, it's because the Navy dictated the dimension of the bridge. The bridge needed to be 200 feet high in order to allow the passage of the big ships. So the engineers had to build a longer bridge to achieve the correct percent grade. So the bridge 2.1 miles, 200 feet, no extra lane for pedestrians nor bicycle for safety reasons, unfortunately. So one would say, well, okay, but there is a feature here that is pure aesthetic and is the secret of the bridge. San Diegans don't know about it, so I'm happy to reveal it to you. The architect, or creative, Mr. Mosher, designed the pillars in order to celebrate the origin of the city of San Diego with the Spanish mission. So they are supposed to mimic the bell tower of the Spanish mission. So the trick is this. I invite you to look left when we reach the bridge. Look through the pillars. The arches are wider and wider. You will see them in sequence, in line. And right there you should be able to see the profile of the bells.
Okay.
With a little bit of imagination. Okay? So let's try.
Try it.
Let me hear if you see it. Look left, through the pillars, up and down. Tell me if you see the bell.
The bell? Let's see.
Almost there. Way to be centered if you want to take a picture. There you go. You see the distance?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like,
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw it. I think I got a
Nice. Okay, if you didn't see it, you can try again on the way back. If you want to take a picture, it will be on this side, right side,
Okay.
starboard side. Now, for those of you interested in the Navy vessels, I know it's far away, but if you look at the end of the naval base, there are 4 vessels, the 3rd and 4th, before the last 2. They're kind of strange vessels, they look unfinished, light gray. That's the Zumwalt. The Zumwalt cost $6 billion. The Navy wanted to build 32 of those. You can multiply it. They ended up only building 3 because they over exceeded budget. But the shape